Alrighty. Welcome to the PSBS, the Place Blizzard Podcast. I'm your host, Coach TPS and Bye Boys. My co-host here is...
Andrew Arenas, Stumble is.
Yes, there's a delay there.
Oh my goodness, it's coming off to a great start. I still have Wi-Fi,
Okay.
oddly enough.
Well, no, I mean,
So,
obviously you can hear me.
still-
I just... there was like a pause there. So I was just like, wait, is he still there?
I mean, I needed to kind of breathe before doing the podcast. I'm trying to think of an analogy or something, but it's not going to fit. So, just kind of like that thing before you go into battle where you're like, all right.
Oh.
But I don't know what necessarily there is to do battle with. Even though I know, but we didn't say, I haven't said this for a while now. I have the feeling this is going to be kind of a short show this week. I don't know why.
I think we say that every week, to some degree.
To some degree, but I haven't said it in a while, but I have a feeling it's going to be a pretty short one.
But, yeah.
No
But
joke.
anyway, this is episode 98. I didn't say that number at the top. So we're getting closer. Go 100.
And,
But,
yeah, we are approaching.
mm-hmm.
It's too bad we missed the special 95 episode. Because 95 is special because it's a number dedicated to Lightning McQueen.
You said that when we did
Who
episode
is it?
95.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
You
I guess we're
acknowledged it.
just really infected with Pixar. We're just really infected with Pixar, so we just want Pixar any opportunity we can.
Uh-huh.
So, it's whatever.
This is what you do.
And then episode 100 is going to be the Dynaco Cup.
Oh,
I'm kind of thinking we should bring a guest on for the 100th episode.
yeah, I'll try to figure something out.
I'm going to brainstorm some stuff on my time off right now before I have to go to work.
Mm.
So,
Yeah, this is something we're going to talk about.
brainstorming will be happening tomorrow.
Yeah, we're going to start doing that off air, brainstorming, try to figure out something for episode 100. See if we get something going.
Yeah, like, we kind of have to, you know?
We have to, man. He's gotta. But,
I think it's going to be something awesome, and it's going to be fantastic.
yeah, we'll see. But, anyway, speaking of things we gotta do, we got some viewer mail this week. Questions?
Yes, we do. Do you want to
Stuff?
talk? Let's already go on to the first thing.
All
This
right.
one comes from, what's his name? Jerome.
Oh, I thought what's his name was his
He's
name.
got
like,
I mean, I don't want to go into his birth certificate information or look into anything.
No, but just the way you said
into
it,
it.
what's his name, you kind of pause like that was his name. Like, that's his username, which should be an awesome username.
I'm sure somebody like that has done it in the past.
But, anyway,
All right,
what's his name's question?
Jerome. He asks, "What do you make of God of War's release date?"
Cool. Yeah, that does segue into a news item that was announced this week. It was announced that God of War is releasing on April 20th, 2018 this year. Which is interesting because that actually is sooner than we were expecting, because we were talking about that about 2 weeks ago. We were saying God of War might come out earliest May. You know, that's kind of what we were saying.
Yeah.
And now it's coming out in April, so that's 3 months from now. So,
Mhm.
so within 3 months of release, they've announced the release date. Yeah, I mean, this is exciting because it's like I said, it's sooner than we expected. It's going to be on a Friday.
Yes.
I mean, that means nothing to me now, but that's okay.
No. Aw.
I work at night, so it doesn't matter.
I know it means nothing.
But
at least it gives you the weekend.
it does give me the weekend when I come back from work, and it's like, yeah, I got this whole weekend now. I can play this game.
So you get an opportunity to play some God of War on the PS4 Pro.
Yeah. Or if I'm not watching movies, because a bunch of movies come out that day too.
Oh yeah, that's right.
like 2, maybe 3 movies come out that day.
Yeah, so you better get multiple movie pass cards.
Because
But
but yeah,
God of War, this is fantastic. I like this release date. I think it's appropriate. Really
Okay.
sets Sony up for 2018. But something that I totally forgot that always just keeps coming up on me was Shadow of Colossus Remaster.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw people already like uploading lots of gameplay and screenshots and oh my goodness, this looks incredible in 4K HDR. I'm like, wait, is this out already?
Nope.
And I'm like, people were like treating it as if it was already out, but it's almost out though.
It's almost out. It
It's
comes out
getting
in
there.
like what, 2 weeks? Still got 2 more weeks for this game comes out.
Yeah, but the press has it, obviously.
Mhm.
People have like posted their possession of the game in the official retail box. So that was interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, but
It's
I mean,
good that Sony exclusive for 2018, starting it off good.
Shadow Colossus. Yep. But I mean, that's just the thing about that game. It's a remaster. There's nothing really to spoil because it's already out. You know, it's the game, just shinier.
Yeah, it's like Crash Bandicoot or any of the other various remasters that have been with Sony in the past. So it's good. I hope a lot of people get it. I mean, it's clear that Blue Point has put a lot of work into this remaster.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I mean, it looks freaking good. So I can only imagine how it looks on a 4K TV. So that's exciting. And
Mhm.
then get some time. People get time with that, and then before they know it, God of War is out.
God of War will be out. And then there's that cluster in March of a bunch of games coming out in March. Not PlayStation exclusives, but just games in general coming out in March.
Yeah, exactly. Whether it be third party or
Mhm.
games on other platforms.
Indeed. A lot of stuff coming out in March. It's like January is this weird slow month, but starting in February there's just so much coming out between video games and movies and stuff, and it just kind of keeps going throughout like the rest of the year. Then once we get that momentum,
Right.
so
Like, I don't know. This January wasn't as strong as last year's. Clearly, I mean, last January we had a Resident Evil 7,
mhm.
and that was a pretty big hitter. But I don't know. This January didn't really provide us with much.
No, we
Really?
didn't get a big game for January.
No, we did not get one,
Because usually
which
there's
is
that,
okay.
yeah. Because I mean, usually there's that one game that gets late to like January, you know, from the fall.
Yeah, exactly. So it's a little strange, but in 2017 we weren't hit with as many delays. Really, it was just really a lot of dates that we were not sure of yet.
Mhm.
So, once the big delays came, like Red Dead Redemption 2, and I mean, God of War wasn't delayed. I guess that's the only one I can really think of because that's the one that affected me the most. But
one
there
I
were
care
several
about.
games delayed in 20. The only one I care about, at least the one I can think of at the top of my head. But I don't know, like, you could look at IGN. There's probably a list of like games that got delayed in 2017 to 2018 or beyond. So, it wasn't as prevalent as it was in like 2016 or 2015, where we had delay after delay after delay after delay, where things are getting shuffled all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's fine. Things are being spaced out, which is good because the past couple of years in the fall has been a little crazy in terms of where things have been placed, and it's good that developers are taking much more precaution in terms of where to place things, even if things are like Titanfall and Battlefield 1, even though it's under EA, or that situation where they thought, oh, even though they're both shooters, they appeal to different markets, but then see the results of that, one succeeded more than the other.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, Titanfall 1 2 would have done much better if it was like at a different time, but it's fine. Titanfall 2, still good.
Mm-hmm.
See where they take that next, but yeah, just every developer needs to take care. It's not even just EA; it doesn't even matter. So I don't know.
So we'll see. But
yeah.
But
We have
anyway,
another.
oh,
We do have another question. If you want me to read this one.
cool. Let's just read the other question.
All right. This one comes from Connor. He asks, "Has Sony missed out on the battle royale genre?" Like, I guess, does he mean like there's no games of battle or games for it, but it's on PlayStation?
Yeah, so I don't know.
I guess if he means like a Sony exclusive one, maybe.
Maybe because here's okay. Well, I'm gonna put a pin in something. I'm gonna bring it back around. So, yeah. So the thing is, like, yeah, the battle royale games. I mean, Fortnite's on PS4. You know, like you can get your battle royale fixed with Fortnite, or the developers.
Yeah, right.
And the developers of PUBG already said that they do plan on putting, PUBG on every platform they can.
Even the Switch.
Yeah, if they can, I guess. But
a game like that, maybe. I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility.
I mean, I don't know, man. We'll see. But I mean, yeah,
they've already 3DS.
The 3DS. We're gonna put it on Vita.
Oh my god! Oh.
But yeah, I mean, they already said they do plan on bringing it to more systems than just the Xbox One and PC. So, presumably, obviously we're gonna get a PS4 version at some point. Is it gonna be anytime soon? It has to be seen. But I mean, it's going to come to PlayStation.
Oh man.
And
yeah, I just have a feeling it's gonna be one of those titles that's just gonna take a long while for it to make its PlayStation debut, unfortunately.
Yeah. Yeah, so there's that, and then there's like, but you can get Fortnite right now. It's the free-to-play version where you can do the battle royale mode and all that. But talking about the battle royale on PlayStation, it brought up an idea that I thought of the other day, and
oh my god,
you might be totally offended by this idea.
Offended?
You might be offended and be like, no, that's
do I ever
dare say that?
Do I ever get offended?
I don't know, man.
You say?
I don't know, man. It's just this is a crazy idea. It's a crazy idea, but I thought about it the other day.
I'm gonna get offended.
Offended. I don't know. It's a crazy idea, but I thought about this the other day.
This would be the shortest episode if it does offend me.
Yeah, you just hang up. Like, you hang up the phone. Like, no, that's stupid. Done. How dare you say that?
And then you just say, thank you for listening, everybody.
Thank you for listening, I guess, man. No, so what I was thinking the other day was talking about bringing Battle Royale to PlayStation. It occurred to me the other day, like, what if The Last of Us Part 2 had a Battle Royale mode?
Oh my god, no.
Because this is something, because think about it. Well, here's the thing. This is something we talked about a long-ass time ago, like way back in the day before Last of Us even came out. Before Last of Us even came out, we talked about it, and I was talking about how I was worried about the multiplayer portion of Last of Us because I was wondering, like, how is that going to, the themes of the game, how is that going to transfer over into multiplayer? The fight for survival, making, shooting a person matter, right?
Yeah, right.
And then ultimately what they created was really good for what it is, but it still is a multiplayer experience in the fact that you do respawn, you do just kind of kill and try to get the points. But I feel like the way PUBG does it, if you kind of retune it in a way that actually can fit in that kind of theme I was thinking of for Last of Us, where you make a multiplayer experience where every kill does matter.
Yeah.
They're like looking for supplies, looking for like finding stuff matters. Like I feel like that could work in a way. Now will it be a full 100 person thing? Probably not. Maybe they do something maybe smaller scale, like maybe 50 at the most. I don't know. Like I just feel like a battle royale mode done right for Last of Us could work.
I think the thing that you propose here is interesting, to say the least. I just think, in terms of what Naughty Dog needs to accomplish in Last of Us 2, I think that's I'm really tolerant. It's like it's a different kind of multiplayer genre that they would have to totally just rework how their multiplayer works. And not to say that every single Naughty Dog game that comes out has like the same player, but
they kind of have it down to a formula already. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's just the thing. Is
where
like,
it's not the exact same.
yeah, because that's the thing. Because like when they announced, when they first announced multiplayer for Last of Us, like I said, we had no clue what it was going to be like. We thought maybe we just copy and paste from what we've seen in Uncharted, and it's kind of not. It is different in a way.
Yeah, because it was really close to the release when that multiplayer was being formally shown. Because
yeah,
like
really close.
it was up until like we had some PlayStation blog posts about it too.
Yeah, it's like, oh,
because
here's
we had
multiplayer.
for Last of Us to get delayed. It delayed a little bit. We were like, okay, and then here's all the information. Yeah, they basically gave this information dump about the multiplayer. Now, granted, I think they just didn't spoil some things, but at the same time, really needed to know something about the multiplayer. So, and it turned out great. I mean, it was successful on both PS3 and PS4, and people are clamoring for it. I mean, you made the idea of this battle royale mode.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I don't know. I just think it could be it could work, and I just feel like it does. Like the idea of the battle royale mode does fit in kind of the themes of Last of Us, and kind of what I wanted from Last of Us 1 multiplayer. And just one of those things where like the battle royale really wasn't the big thing then, obviously. Where now it kind of is this big thing, and it's like Naughty Dog can look at it and go, well, we can do that, or do it in a way that works within the realm of Last of Us. Last of Us, get it? I'm the last one. See?
Oh my god! I think maybe just to summarize, if you want Last of Us 2 to come out at least within this decade, then I don't think that they should come. I don't think they should put a battle royale mode in this game, because it's a tall order, incredibly tall order. I just don't think so. And plus, you got to get somebody at Naughty Dog that has the experience of making a game like this. Now, of course, they can always tread on new water and try new things. There's no denying that. It's just for this kind of specific multiplayer experience, it's tough. Mm-hmm. I think, because you gotta get that whole team on that mentality of making this kind of multiplayer game that's still relatively new. I mean, the thing is, this genre of multiplayer game isn't necessarily new. It's just the things that are built around it are new.
Yeah.
Because like certain styles of this multiplayer have been around forever. They've been around for a long time. Mm-hmm. But the fact that people are molding and melding it in their own specific way. It's like a pot. Everybody's pot is different. A pottery, not weed. So, it's tough. It's incredibly tough. Sounds like a dream, but if you want Last of Us 2 to come out before 2020, then just get the standard Naughty Dog multiplayer with some new features.
Unless they just do it as a separate thing like Fortnite does, where it's like, here, this.
Yeah, you never know. That's always a possibility, because now that Naughty Dog has been toying around with bigger size DLCs, especially in single player, I mean, why not maybe have a larger multiplayer expansion, I mean, once Lost Legacy came out, I mean, there was a lot of support for Uncharted 4's multiplayer, so... Mm-hmm. I still haven't played a single round on that multiplayer. Can you believe that? I still never even played that. I never bothered. Mm. So maybe one day if I ever want to go on the platinum hunt for Uncharted 4, the only Uncharted game I have not platinum. Mm-hmm. And I platinum the remasters and then the freaking Vita game. You still never got around to platinum that Vita game, huh?
No.
I mean, at least they patched it with that silly card stuff, but yeah, you gotta beat that game on crushing, and it's tough.
Yeah.
But yeah.
But speaking of the popularity of, Battle Royale games and all this and that.
But do you want to know who did Battle Royale first? PlayStation All-Stars.
PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. There you go. It has the word Battle Royale in the title.
It had Battle Royale in the title. Missed opportunity there.
Oh boy. Oh yeah, 100 PlayStation characters dropped on a map and just beating the crap out of each other until the last one standing.
But if you want to know another thing I was around to before I go on to the next thing? If Super Interactive was still around, they would have retooled Mag to be
for what?
Like I can't believe I'm referencing Mag.
Oh yeah.
Like if they just retooled it to be a PUBG style game.
Mm-hmm.
If it was still around. Like Imagine if Mag actually took off, you know? Damn. Like, if it was a thing, but...
Oh, yeah, Mag, yeah.
256 players, just... Oh, my God.
Poor old Mag.
It's such a weird number, too. 256?
Yeah. 256 player deathmatch? Oh, boy.
Oh, that turned out well, didn't it? But... I mean, it was a novelty, you know. It's the same thing like Warhawk. But the thing about Warhawk, though, is like that game actually took off. It literally.
Yeah, as far as I know, you can still play Warhawk online.
And you can sell Warhawk online because you can use your PlayStation as a server.
Yes, you can.
So, that's awesome.
Yeah.
You have to pay?
No, you just click a button and it's like, your PlayStation is now a server.
That is crazy.
And then
so somebody's going to keep a PS3 as long as they can if that game ever goes offline.
Yeah, and
or
then,
did that game go offline already?
No. As far as I know, Warhawk is still
around.
Oh, good.
Up. Wow. Are you kind of surprised that I heard about Warhawk shutdowns on the preview chat?
Yeah, it's weird.
But I mean, some here and there, right?
Yeah, but I mean, there's like even a trophy in the game for dedicating your PlayStation to a 24-hour server.
Oh, where you have to leave it on?
Yeah, it says like leave your PlayStation on for 24 hours, like as a server. So like it's encouraging people to use their PS3 as a server.
Oh yeah, it probably break them.
I got the trophy
because it was the big fat PS3 where like it overheated and you were like anxious to see if it was gonna like overheat and die. you know. But if you had like the top loader PS3, you don't give a damn. I mean, you don't care. I mean, it doesn't matter.
Oh boy.
That top loader will take all the abuse it can. But anyways, what were you going on?
No, it all comes back because we're talking about games shutting down and battle royale games. It was announced this week that Epic is shutting down Paragon, their free-to-play MOBA game on consoles, to focus on Fortnite because Fortnite is being really successful for them.
Wow.
Yeah, this is kind of crazy because it's just one of those things where, like, I don't play Paragon, you don't play Paragon, but it's still just one of those things where, like, this thing was kind of recent.
Community.
It has its community, and this came out like what, maybe a year or two ago, so it hasn't really been on like around that long. And they were teasing like even like a few weeks ago, just saying, "Oh, we have a great 2018 to look forward to," and then now it's like, nope, starting in April, we're shutting down Paragon. Because let's see what their quote on this was. It's loading. Yeah, they announced that they're shutting down on April 26, 2018. They had many debates on how to figure out what was the best path to take to help grow the game into a more substantial project, but nothing could be decided.
Wow.
Yeah, but and they've already said that they decided to close down Paragon. Consideration many difficult internal debates feel there isn't a clear path for us to grow Paragon into a MOBA that retains enough players to be sustainable. We didn't execute well enough to deliver the promise of Paragon. We failed you despite the team's incredible hard work, and we were sorry. Try to make this right.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, just really apologizing here.
What kind of I mean, was Paragon pretty bad at launch? I mean, that one I never followed, so I mean, was
I don't think so. I mean, people were liking it. I mean,
was
like
it
you
just
said,
due to lack of the popularity? Is that why they're sorry for?
It's just lack of.
Well, I mean,
like,
I guess you could if the game didn't have enough retention, I guess. But I mean, it's not like the game was like awful.
Yeah, and then it goes on to say, like, to try to make things right, Epic is offering a full refund to every Paragon player for every purchase on any platform. It says the refund will come directly from
Paragon,
Epic.
You had to buy the game?
It was free to play. So it was one of those things where you had the base.
Oh, so I guess if any in the microtransactions?
Yeah, any money you put into the game, you're going to get back.
Holy hell.
Because Paragon was free, and they had like that founder pack that was $60, so where you got the game and a bunch of other stuff. Founder pack kind of thing. Yeah. And so I mean, it's just always this thing where like I said, we don't really play it, but it's still just one of those crazy things to see a game like this just stop, get shut down, ending. And it's just kind of like you're saying, it's free to play, so it's just one of those things where not enough people are playing it, or not enough people are playing it and paying for things to kind of keep it going, to kind of give that income. Where on the other side of the fence, they're working on Fortnite, and that's actually being really successful for them because of the whole like we were talking about, Battle Royale mode is really picking up steam. People are putting their time into that. Because that's the mode everyone's playing, is that free Battle Royale mode, not the actual like main game of Fortnite.
Yeah.
So, I mean, people have already responded. Like, people are doing like, hashtags and stuff, trying to get Paragon to stay online, and people are trying to keep it going. And I don't think it's going to work. I think Paragon is just going to have to come April.
Yeah, it's tough. It's like, how many things can they work on at once for it to stay on?
Yeah.
And you got to work on the hot item that is at the current moment, which is Fortnite. Which every single day that passes by, I still think about how taken aback I am at the success of Fortnite. Granted, just Battle Royale, right? The main game, not so much.
No, like when Fortnite launched, it was just like here, and no one cared.
Yeah.
And then like a month or two after launch, they said, "Hey, look at this free Battle Royale mode," and everybody freaked out. And now it became this thing.
Yeah. So, this game is a long journey, a really long journey.
Yeah.
When I saw it all the way back at Comic-Con, back when it was something a bit different too, right? Tone-wise.
Yeah, it was different.
Almost kind of like Borderlands, how it changed, but not maybe that drastic, Yeah. So, because I remember that panel too, and I remember not being that interested in it when I saw it, and then that weird update at the Apple conference, no less, right? Where like showing off some graphics card with the Max. I don't know. It was like that was like the first update we got in years about that game at an Apple conference, no less. That was like the weirdest thing. I was like, wait, Fortnite? Like, okay, like, why in the world would you show this here out of all places? Because like it was near E3, so it's like, why are they showing this here? And then I'm like, okay, that means they really don't care. So then, that happened, and then I was still waiting, and then the game escaped my mind. Like, I never even cared about it even more. So, and then it came out, and then just came out, and then there's Battle Royale mode, and then all the memes, and I'm like, wow, this is really becoming a multiplayer video game staple right now. Like, everybody's saying, oh, I'm trying to play Fortnite. It's like a new thing, which is refreshing. So, yeah, still pretty. I would have never guessed, really, and my extremely low expectations were definitely taken aback by that. So, I mean, I'm proud of Epic. It's good. They needed something new for years. That was, successful. A new IP, successful. So,
yeah,
it's good.
Yeah, just Paragons wasn't it?
Yeah, unfortunately. I mean, the style of the game is always interesting too, at least from what I had seen. The concept was neat. I just think the player retention just wasn't there. And then this problem we always talk about of so much multiplayer, so much time sinks. It's difficult. It's really difficult. Mm-hmm. And, Epic need to put out as much as they can to see which one sticks, and Fortnite does. Somehow. But it does. It has its reasons. It does. Who am I to say? So, it's good.
It's good. Kind of.
Trying to find the silver lining.
Yeah. But, anyway. Move on. We got an update on something we talked about last week. It has been confirmed that South Park Stick of Truth will release on February 13th, both digitally and physically, and it will retail for $29.99.
Awesome. Yes.
So, if you missed out...
$29.99, a little much, but then again, the retail packaging, all that stuff, but maybe it could have been $20, but 30, I mean, you'll get something good out of it. But again, if you didn't get sick, if you didn't get fresh from home, then oh well.
Could have got it for free.
Could have gotten it for free. Could have, would have, should have.
But you didn't. Yeah. And then another thing, we talked about Twisted Metal last week, and we had an update this week from... Huh?
Not nothing.
Oh, okay. I thought something was going on your end. But anyway, we were talking about, Twisted Metal and David Jaffe. Well, it was announced this week that David Jaffe's latest project has been canceled.
Oh my god. Like, this is the curse that we keep talking about, dude. We talk about these things, and the following week, it takes a turn for the worst.
Yeah, because it's David Jaffe's latest company, Barlett Jones Supernatural Detective Agency game studio, is
off the tongue.
Yeah, it's canceled one of its major projects. He said the massive majority of the games division has been let go following cancellation. Jaffe has promised more news is forthcoming. So yeah, I mean, this is just kind of crazy because it's something we kind of joked about a while back on a show. That seems like every time David Jaffe makes a game, it doesn't work out, and he has to shut down the company, and make a new company every time. And as far as we know, this long-named company is not shutting down, but they are losing a lot of their people, which is really unfortunate for them, and everyone involved with that. And it's just, like I said, it's just kind of crazy that David Jaffe can kind of keep going. And this is, of course, after launch of Drawn's Death, which obviously just didn't hit the mark.
Nope.
And now whatever they're working on now has just been canceled. So it's like,
any idea what the canceled game was?
No.
Damn.
It's crazy.
I mean, at least Santa Monica, at least we got the idea, right, of the sci-fi game.
Yeah, and that's what we theorized, that canceled game got reworked into God of War. That was our theory.
Oh yeah, I mean, I would like to think that game got completely scrapped. I think
I do
maybe
think
certain elements.
I do believe that certain elements of that canceled game got put into God of War.
Certain assets, but nah. I mean, whatever that sci-fi game was, I mean, hopefully one day we get to. I mean, what is the concept art out for? Maybe, I don't know.
I don't think so.
It's a geeky thing to ask, but I don't know. I'm curious the extent of what David Jaffe's new game was.
Yeah.
Was it another multiplayer game? That's my question. What was it just going to be another waste of time? I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry to kind of say that, but let's be real here.
I mean,
at least in terms of Jaffe's successes, which have been both in the single player and multiplayer field.
Mm-hmm.
If any advice I would have to give to this company, they got to work on a single player game. Like, the multiplayer is just not cutting it. And if that canceled game was a multiplayer game, that's like, yeah, the signs are clear. You got to make a single player game.
Yeah, I think, yeah, Dave Jaffe, whatever company he's working with, yeah, they do need to work on something single player, because it's one of those things.
Yes.
It's just one of those things where the last couple of games have been multiplayer focused, and it's just one of those things where they're not catching that market.
Yeah,
and,
I've been at the gym since
they're not catching that market, and they need to do something like an indie kind of level, almost single player experience, to kind of get people behind them, to kind of play it and support it, because it's just like Drawn's Death with its changing model, because you can tell with Drawn's Death, there's like, we have a really good idea, we just have no idea how to execute it at all.
Yeah,
because that game just went through hell as far as just from being announced to being released, and
yeah, it was tricky.
And that was. Yeah, I think that was through the new company. And then his last one, I think what was before that? I think Starhawk was before that?
Yeah, Starhawk.
And Starhawk was through, like, what, Lightbox or something? I think that was the name of his company at the time.
Yes.
And that was another one where it was supposed to be the spiritual follow-up to Warhawk, but it just... Yeah, I mean, everybody... it was weird. Like, I didn't even play it. I think I maybe played the beta. And it was one of those things where, like, everybody said it's a fine game. It just didn't catch it. It just didn't click with people like it did Starhawk. Starhawk was just such a... big thing, because with I think I'm going to worse mixed up. With Warhawk came out early. Yeah, Warhawk came out early in the PS3 life cycle, and it was just that first kind of big, like, oh, look at this awesome multiplayer experience that you can only get on PlayStation. It
had the headset included too,
and it had the headset included. So it was like, yeah, everybody's getting a headset, everybody's playing. It was just a really fun multiplayer and all this and that. And then everybody was like, yeah, why couldn't they just simply made a Warhawk 2? But they didn't. Because it was made through Incognito, I think that was the name of the company, and they eventually went under and then reformatted to become Lightbox, and through Lightbox he made Starhawk, which was supposed to be the spiritual successor to it, but it just didn't click with people, like Warhawk did, because it's one of those things where, like, I don't know, because like Warhawk is this weird game that is actually pretty simplistic in what it is, and yet it's still caught on with people.
The game was like more accessible. Starhawk, on the other hand, what I remember back when the game was being received, was a very good game, but even some of the reviewers too noted that the game had a bit of a learning curve to it. Like, even the single player too.
Because oddly enough, it was kind of doing the Fortnite thing, with the whole, like, hey, this is third person thing, and they're building mechanics. Like, look, let's build towers and build, you know, like these like little base things or whatever, you know, and it's like, oh, okay, like back in whatever year that game came out, like that's not cool, man. You know what could have worked?
Well, I'm
A
also.
battle royale mode for Starhawk. Back in the
Oh
day.
my god. Well, you guys, well, listeners and you two should look up this GameSpot video of like 5 games that could also benefit from a battle royale mode. I'm like, oh my god,
Yep, Starhawk, man.
it's getting crazy now.
Um,
Yeah, I think he like mentioned like Battlefield 1, GTA 5, like all sorts of crazy crap. But I guess like another game franchise that can come back in that respect is also Red Faction Guerrilla.
yeah.
Imagine that, like if
well,
that were to happen. But
yeah.
I don't know. I'm throwing stuff out there. You know, because the last couple Red Faction games weren't all that successful commercially.
Yeah. I don't know.
So-
There's been some posting and leaks about putting Gorilla on
Oh.
PS4.
I mean, we had the one PS2 to PS4 game, right? So
Yeah.
I don't know. Could that just be? I don't know. You never know. Well, now
Yeah,
that
there's been some-
THQ Nordic is around, it's a thing.
yeah,
So,
can always happen.
but do they still own the rights? I don't know.
It should.
I don't know. Did they sell that to anybody? Or
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who owns that. But
I mean, I would like a different kind of Red Faction game. I mean, I don't want like Ubisoft to take it and just make their own typical Ubisoft open world game.
Mhm.
So, not hating on them, but it's people have. It's not like a smart person has to figure out their open world formula at this point. So, yeah, it doesn't take a genius to figure it
Yeah.
out. So, and then someone also mentioned GameSpot. Yeah, I mentioned like Ghost Recon Wildlands would benefit from a battle royale mode.
Mhm.
I'm like, oh my god,
Oh yeah, somebody's gonna
because
do it.
people say like the open world is so big but like so empty. So it's like you could fill it up with stuff easily if you had a battle royale mode.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know.
So, yeah.
Spitball on here, but
Yeah.
back to the topic at hand.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. Like they should have just made us like a just straight up Warhawk 2 and just kind of built off of what they
Yeah,
had
that.
instead of kind of going in this different-ish direction. But
Oh yeah, I totally agree with you on that one. And for David Jaffe's team, yeah, single player game, a 6 to 7 hour game. If they put like a 6 to 7 hour, maybe $40 game, that's like God of War tier. Okay, that's a little difficult to ask, but a third party, no, not third party, a third. I don't know. They might have to go third party at this route if none of the games are selling on PlayStation. So don't be surprised. I don't know, man.
I don't know.
That's tough. That's a tough one. It
Yeah,
sucks.
I mean, it sucks, and you gotta respect the guy for at least trying original ideas,
yeah. Oh,
Like,
yeah.
he
there's
doesn't,
no denying
because that's the
that.
thing. Like he just doesn't want to do the same thing over and over. Like I don't know how many of the Twisted Metals he was involved in. If he was involved with all of them or not. I mean, he was involved with more than one at least.
But for God of War, strangely enough, he
God
just
of War, he
did
was
the
just
first
like-
one and then bailed.
Did the first one and said, "Nah, I'm good." Then he did with Incognito. He did other games like War of the Monsters, which I freaking love. War of the Monsters. I love that game so much. And then
Yeah, no, it's a cult favorite.
It
yeah,
is.
so that's what makes me laugh. It's not a game that everybody's taste.
Yeah, but I love that game. And then he of course did the Warhawk, which was great. But then, like I said, it's just this thing where he doesn't want to do the sequels. Like he said, he didn't want to come back for God of War. He wanted to keep doing his own thing and did War of the Monsters, and then he eventually did Warhawk. And then even when it got time, like, hey, let's do Warhawk 2, it was like, nope, let's do something different, where it's not straight up Warhawk 2, we do Starhawk in a different direction. And it was just kind of like, no. And then he did that other little game, Calling All Cars. Remember that one?
Yeah, it was early into the PlayStation Store's birth, really, 2007, and that was successful at its time.
At its time, but again, that was another one of those things where he's turning to multiplayer because, like,
Yes.
Because you look at something like War of the Monsters, was probably maybe his last thing that could have worked at single player, even though it worked more from like party kind of setting, like playing with people.
Yes.
But then you look at something like Warhawk, where it was just multiplayer. You look at Calling All Cars, was just multiplayer. And then Starhawk did have a single player mode, but it really wasn't. It was more like a glorified tutorial basically.
Right.
Was the single player for Starhawk, and then they did Twisted Metal, and Twisted Metal had a single player mode, and the reboot one for PS3, it has single player mode, but you can tell too a lot of that they were focused on the multiplayer. They really wanted the multiplayer to kind of carry this game forward, But of course, it didn't get no support whatsoever. And then it was like, and then it was like, okay, and now they did Drawn's Death, and that was the multiplayer game, that didn't work, and now it's like, step away from multiplayer, all right? Just like we keep saying, like we're saying here, just they need to do a single player experience.
Yeah, we have our multiplayer fixes at this point right now. Like, we're good.
Yeah.
Like, original idea, a single player game, a multiplayer game, I'm not really against. It's just right now, the climate for it is so high. You just can't. I don't want to see David Jaffe try an attempt to make a dent in the multiplayer sphere. I want him to again make a dent in the single player space, like he did with God of War. Again, tall order to ask, and that's high expectations. I understand, but at the same time, I think he can do it. He's got talented people behind him. It's clear that he's still able to make games. He can do that. Like I would be profoundly shocked if that canceled game was not a multiplayer game. Like, it must have been, maybe. Like, this game, whatever that game was, Sony must have took a look at it and been like, nope, no. So, because as nice as Sony is on lending original ideas, they could also be incredibly brutal. Yeah. As any company, really, that needs to present something that's just not working out. I mean, it's just the business. So, it's basically to summarize, David Jaffe, your mission, make a dent in the single player space. He can. I think he can do it. I think there's no denying it. Just the right people and everything. Don't have the game with microtransactions. Make it to 6 to 7 hours. That's all you need. Easy. Well, easier said than done, clearly. But if it takes 3 to 4 years, it's going to take 3 to 4 years. And I just think that's what needs to happen in order for his company to stay afloat. Because, if the game looks remarkable, I'll sure as hell buy it. If the game looks good enough and I'm interested,
yeah.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. So, we'll see. And, good luck to those people. Trying people being laid off. Hopefully they'll move on to great things. And the people that remain will hopefully work on something great that we'll see at some point.
I think they will. I'm pretty highly optimistic about this one, even though the recent game got canceled. But at least I would like to think it was multiplayer. Yeah. I would be a betting man. But if it was single player, then maybe it's like the Santa Monica thing. It just didn't work out either. So I don't know.
But we'll see. But anyway, speaking of multiplayer games and making changes and this and that,
making a change.
It was announced this past week that DICE has plans to completely rehaul the Star Wars Battlefront 2 progression system.
Oh, great! All right, what are they proposing here?
They're saying they're saying a revamped progression system will be coming at some point in the future, following player feedback that the current one doesn't reward player skill with specific classes, but rather luck and grinding. DICE mentions there will be significant changes to the progression system, and that player feedback has been essential. They will be sharing additional details about this new revamp in March.
All the way to March. Okay, well
in March is when they're going to announce the changes.
So it's going to take even longer.
So it might take even longer. Well, I mean, you got to think though. This game came out in November, and they put this game out. They were fully sure this was going to work. Like, this is going to be perfect. No one's going to complain, right? And then
things were coming out about it.
And now it's like, okay, we have to start from square one and revamp this game while it's already out. So, it's going to take a little while to redo the progression system, and it's just like,
which is fair.
It's fair, but here's the thing. So,
okay.
So I don't want to repeat a whole lot we've already said about Battlefront 2, but I do want to.
And that's been said a million times.
That has been said a million times, but I do want to say this. I do want to say this.
Okay.
So
what do you want to say?
So they said they want to revamp the multiplayer progression, due to player feedback. They're like, we have taken in your feedback, and we want to make this better. We want, to help out our community improve for them. But here's the thing, though. This is what they were saying at E3 when they were showing off Battlefront 2.
Yeah.
Like, when they were showing off Star Wars Battlefront 2, they said, like, this entire game is built off of your feedback from the first game. They straight up said that. Like, we took all of your complaints. We took all of your complaints into consideration, and we've made a game for you guys, or whatever. And, like, that was their whole thing. And, like, they were really, bumping out, like, Battlefront 2 and trying to really say this is going to be an improvement over the first game. And in some ways it is an improvement, but in other ways it's like you still kind of screwed up, and it's this weird thing.
Just in different ways, not in different ways, not the same ways.
You screwed up in a different way than you did the first time.
Exactly.
And it's good that they're acknowledging it again. Like, we screwed up and we want to fix this, and that's cool and it's fine and all. But it's just like that's what you said the first time, and it's like. It's a learning process, and it's one of those things where, like we just said, if they announce the revamp in March, and even if it takes another 3 months for the revamp to happen, it'll happen in, like, June or something, like, you think it's going to be too late by then? I mean...
way too late. God knows what the player retention is going to be by then.
I don't know what they can do, unless they, like, say, screw it, like, the game's free for PlayStation Plus or something. Like, I don't really know what else they can do to get people to come back to it.
I was surprised that the first game was never free for Plus. Like, they might as well have put that game on free for Plus. But then again, it was steeply discounted, so...
Yeah, but it could be one of those things, too, where, like, come June, it'll be probably an EA Access or something,
Oh, right.
For Xbox.
Well, yeah, because... Well, isn't there, like, a certain period after a new EA game releases and then it gets to Access anyways?
Yeah, I think it's, like, within a year or
6 months? I thought it was, like, 6 to 8 months. Really?
So, yeah.
Like, I remember Mirror's Edge Catalyst was, like, a game at the time when it went to EA Access. I was like so quick. I was like, "Whoa, this game's already on EA Access."
Yeah, well, that's Mirror's Edge Catalyst.
But it was Mirror's Edge Catalyst. Yeah, exactly. So it wasn't.
Yeah. So So this is one of those things where by the time this revamp happens, it will probably be on EA Access. So it's going to be one of those things where a lot of people are going to, see it pop up in EA Access and be like, "Oh, look, it's free now" or whatever. So I can download.
And it's like, where does the game make its money from aside from the loot boxes?
See, yeah,
there's no season pass. There's no season pass.
Yeah, because that's the thing too. They said we're working on a new season of content too, so it's going to be like, so is all this just investment for you to like get hyped for when they do Battlefront 3? Like, I don't.
Oh my god.
I don't know. Like they're just trying to get. I think that's all this is now. Is just damage control now at this point. It's like we can't. Like, I think EA is like, we can't make money off this game anymore. It's all damage control from this point on.
Yeah, it sucks. I mean, who's gonna fund the solo DLC?
Oh yeah, Solo. You get the young Han Solo character. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you get Donald Glover in the Battlefront game, and that's gonna be hilarious. But, yeah, it stinks, and it's more work for EA than they didn't already have to do. It's gonna slow down other projects that DICE specifically might want to work on. Due to the fact that also the next Battlefield game is still a ways away. I would actually be shocked if we still get another Battlefield game by the end of this decade.
Really?
Because I don't know. I mean,
Battlefield game?
I mean, it's another Battlefield game. I don't know. When they put out Battlefield 1, they assured that this one is gonna be it for a while. I mean, you already saw how they were trying to semi-annualize it with Hardline.
But that's why
Hardline got delayed. But they were going to try to go to other places with Battlefield, where it was going to be more constant releases, but it didn't work out.
Well, I thought the plan was just to do like alternate between Battlefront and Battlefield, where like last year would be Battlefield 1. No, the other year was Star Wars Battlefront, then Battlefield 1, then Battlefront 2, and then Battlefield whatever this year.
Well, no, yes and no, but like when Battlefield 1 was coming in hot, they were saying like, no, this one's gonna be here for a while.
All right.
Which I'm kind of down for, because that's how the original Battlefield games used to be. There would be one, and then the other one would come out for like 4 or 5 years.
Yeah, I mean, they're still putting out DLC for Battlefield 1. Like,
exactly. So like, yeah, that's what they talked about too. That they were gonna support this game for the long haul. I mean, if we get a Battlefield game maybe announced in 2019. And then for a release maybe that same year or early 2020 or later on in 2020 if it gets delayed, then
But
yeah,
then,
that's why I'm
but then
skeptical.
what's EA's
that's
shooter
not
going to be for the fall?
right. That Titanfall 3
Titanfall 3, maybe. I mean, is it time for that? I mean, only been 2 years
or
come the fall?
whatever. If that whatever assets they're gonna pull from that visceral Star Wars game, I don't know. Yeah, that's difficult. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the sports games are gonna keep them afloat. That's gonna be fine. And whatever else they put out.
Yeah.
We'll see if they're gonna still put out fall shooters every year.
I mean, there has to be
we'll
something in the fall, right? That's not a sports game.
I mean, sports games come out in various points of the year.
Yeah.
I mean, the Madden games are towards
August.
summertime. Yeah, August, towards the end of the summer.
And then UFC comes out next week, so it's now we're hitting that first quarter with sports games.
Yeah, it's difficult. I do think EA's whole typical calendar, will be restructured in some way. Due to the fact about Battlefront 2. A little bit.
Yeah,
I mean, if DICE is the only one out here making the primary shooters of this whole company, which is a lot of pressure. I mean, it used to be also Respawn, but let's hope Respawn is still being able to work on their Star Wars game freely, right?
Yeah.
Now that EA owns Respawn. So it's oh. A little bit of pulling the cuff a little bit and worry. It's what do you do?
Yeah.
But it's tough to know.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
Lots of speculation this episode. I like it.
Yeah, which all that does bring us to our next big topic.
Yeah.
Speaking of EA games and releases and all that. Now none of this is been confirmed, but there has been reports coming out the past week that Anthem has been delayed internally and will not release until early 2019. And
oh wow.
Yeah, so Anthem won't release 2019, and supposedly the fall of 2018 was unrealistic, and they do have and BioWare is under pressure to launch before the end of EA's 2019 fiscal year, which marks the delay beyond March 20 less likely.
Why in the world? Why is EA giving BioWare such unrealistic? Oh my god!
So basically, the latest EA wants this game to come out is March 2019.
No, the game was just not. It was just announced. That wasn't even gameplay, right? I mean, that could be in engine,
this is
right?
according to.
That's crazy.
I don't know. This is according to Kotaku putting out reports. They're saying over half a dozen people post Anthem about the pressure surrounding the project, which has allegedly been in development since 2012.
Oh, jeez.
So the games have been developed for a while. But according to the sources, it said recent industry controversies, notably the backlash from Battlefront 2's loot boxes, and even Bungie's Destiny 2 negative feedback has placed pressure squarely on Anthem team to produce something great. So basically, BioWare is under pressure with this game because they have to come back from not only
Mass Effect
Andromeda, but just EA in general, is getting so much flank right now from just everything. So it's just one of those things where Anthem has a lot of pressure on it because it's kind of both things, where it's BioWare and they're doing something that's multiplayer heavy in a way, or multiplayer focused or whatever.
Destiny-esque in a way.
Destiny-esque in a way, yeah. So yeah, it's really interesting to see how this kind of plays out, and but they do say, reports saying that BioWare is optimistic for the game. It's just, there's just a lot of pressure on just kind of you gotta deliver, man. You gotta.
Yeah, they do hard, big time. This game can't simply just be. It can't even be it could be a sleeper hit, but it can't. It's got to be even more than that. Here's the thing, I didn't even take it that game was in development since 2012. I thought maybe idea phase, but wow.
I don't know. Well,
that's even before Destiny. Yeah, it's not confirmed, so it is more speculation.
Speculation.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and a side thing, but we won't get into it because there's a video I can recommend on YouTube from Jim Sterling, who put out a video about Destiny 2's faults being more in the mainstream. I think CNBC put out a thing about analysts being unsatisfied about Destiny 2 and where it's heading, the whole Destiny franchise as a whole. So, also talking about feedback from that too.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and
gosh, that's tricky.
Yeah,
and what is with EA giving BioWare these unrealistic expectations in the rush? I mean, didn't we see how that turned out?
Yeah,
and,
trying to hit that March release.
Fact that. Yeah, trying to hit that March release, and the fact is that even though Mass Effect Andromeda had a multiplayer component, but it still hit them hard in terms of hitting that date,
Yeah, just kind of getting that single player down, and it's just it's weird, man, and yeah,
it just sucks, dude. It really sucks. They're getting shafted a little bit in this now. Who am I to say if more development time of Mass Effect Andromeda would have fixed the game? But, it would have at least benefited from it in some way, as with any game. But, at the same time, it's like BioWare needs their time. It was evident ever since Mass Effect Andromeda was first formally announced. We saw nothing game when it was first announced, and we were even concerned about how much we were seeing and how much it was correlating of what's going to be put out.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, and it's tricky. Anthem, we just got that CG trailer.
No,
looked interesting.
There's gameplay in that thing.
I guess it was was it even formal?
Well, yeah, the whole is that in game or is that in engine? That whole debate. But I don't know what the clarification for that was, if that was in engine or in game. But they're saying no, this is Anthem running on Xbox One X or whatever, and here's gameplay, because they showed them jumping off that wall, flying, and then going through near that cave and then swimming underwater and stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's just one of those things where it's here you go, and. Yeah, it's one of those things where, you look at Mass Effect Andromeda, where it's that's a game that needed more development time, and the whole thing just kind of felt rushed to kind of put out a Mass Effect game, to put out in first quarter, and that's just kind of, what it's looking like with Anthem. It's we don't want that rush of, you have to put this out for March. We got to hit that first quarter. But, I don't know, man, because, we keep saying, we've been saying EA needs to hit hard to come back with something great,
From BioWare, because
BioWare.
As every game is fleeting, BioWare is losing a bit of their goodwill. I'm not going to be hyperbolic here and saying that they're doomed. They're doomed forever. The company's going to go rot, but they just need to hit back with something great, not something good. Great, because that's not BioWare's pedigree. It never has been, really. They put out top tier stuff. Yeah. I had always put them up on such a high pedestal in terms of being one of the great game developers working today. They can't lose it. They can't.
Yeah.
So,
and then
yeah,
and then apparently too, it's all hands on deck. People who were supposedly working on the new Dragon Age is now working on Anthem. They were we need everyone here. Working on Anthem. Which is kind of funny because we know now there's a new Dragon Age in development. It's just kind of I was working like the head guy from Dragon Age was I was working on the new Dragon Age, but now I'm working on Anthem. It's just kind of it's okay, there's a new Dragon Age. Of course there's a new Dragon Age in development.
They can't do what Naughty Dog was originally going to do. Remember when Naughty Dog was being split into two teams or something like that originally, where they were supposed to flop back and forth, but then with the restructuring, the various restructuring of Naughty Dog, now it's back to one technically. Even though there's different game directors and teams that work on different things, of course, but at the same time they still focus on one singular thing.
Yeah.
So they can't. BioWare can't do that. These games are so massive.
Yeah, and they just got
in their own way.
And there's different teams.
It's just hard.
And then, some people were pointing out, too, the team, because, like I said, BioWare is broken down to, 3 or 4 teams, something crazy like that. But apparently the team...
They used to.
They used to. Now they're down to, maybe 2 teams or 3. Because apparently there was a team working on Dragon Age and then a team working on Anthem. And now they're moving people from Dragon Age to Anthem because they just want everybody working on Anthem now to kind of get this working. And
these developers need to know about, just the singular vision. It greatly benefits. You put out one... fantastic game, go on to the next one. as tempting as it is to work on another neat idea, you gotta kind of focus.
Mm-hmm. Focus.
So there it is. Focus.
But yeah. So I mean, we'll see, and it's just one of those things where obviously we're gonna eventually see more of Anthem and whatever, and then we got to keep our expectations of what Anthem is, obviously too.
Yeah, that's right. It's not going to be the single player Mass Effect thing, unfortunately. It isn't.
But
Anthem's not really the game, at least shaping up wise, that I really want. But
that's the thing, we don't know because it's. I mean, they do say they want it to be a sci-fi fantasy and still be story driven. You know, because that's kind of what I want from Anthem. I want it to be a game where, you know, you can play a multiplayer and you can get fun from multiplayer, but I still want it to be a full like single player experience where if I play it by myself, I still feel like I'm getting, you know, a good experience out of it. Like I'm not feeling like it's some empty experience without people playing, you know?
Yeah, I remember there was one YouTube commentator that I watched, basically from when the game was first announced. He was basically saying like, oh, if BioWare does this right, it's basically like the refined version of like Destiny in a way, you know?
Yeah.
Where like it's good no matter what you play it, because Destiny you have to play it in such a certain way to get a lot of enjoyment out of it.
I mean, it varies from person to person.
Yeah.
With Destiny, it's weird, but
but
Anthem, the way it's sounding like a much more refined version of that idea.
Yeah.
It's just that Bungie can't do it for some reason. So, you know.
Yeah. So we'll see, and that's
If
just what
BioWare it will be quite an incredible feat if they could. You know.
yeah.
Like maybe it's that exact thing that we're kind of thinking of, but if it's along those lines, then that's remarkable. Like if that actually turns out well for them, that's awesome. Because like the fact that Bungie couldn't even do something like that, but BioWare comes in and they're like, oh yeah, and holy crap, that would be fantastic. But right now we're not really sure how Anthem's gonna like shape up to be yet. So like, you know, that's just kind of speculation.
Mm-hmm. And you know, I think developers need to figure this out, that games can be improved by multiplayer, but they can't live and die by multiplayer, basically. You know?
Yeah.
And that's
Depends
what
on the
we're
game.
It depends on the game.
Of course, multiplayer. It depends. Yeah.
I mean, it depends. And
like if the game is multiplayer only, then yeah, trying to make the single player hub world hybrid, a la the Division, Ghost Recon, Destiny, then it's tricky.
Yeah. It is tricky.
It's hard.
But I mean, like, I don't know. You used to look like a lot of recent games that just focus on multiplayer or something, and like, you used to look something like Destiny. That's an example of a game where like you have to play with friends. Because if you're not playing with friends, you know, for me, it was just kind of an empty experience without friends. You know, just kind of whatever, exploring by yourself. It felt like an empty experience, and that's kind of how I felt when I was playing something like the first Borderlands. Felt kind of empty when I was playing by myself. You know. Because Borderlands 1 was a game that like didn't have that much emphasis on story, you know. There really wasn't any. There's like really almost no cutscenes. It was just kind of like you run around shooting because like they wanted you to be playing with people, and I wasn't most of the time, so it felt kind of empty. Borderlands 2 improved on that by putting so much emphasis on story and putting more cutscenes in and more just interactions with NPCs. So you know you didn't feel empty when you're playing by yourself. You know, so that was an example of a game where they improved on the sequel, making it, you know, not feel that way.
Yeah, exactly.
So, you know, the stuff like that. So it, you know, that's just kind of one of the big things you got to do when you want a balance between single player and multiplayer, is make it feel like you're still getting a full experience in single player. So,
it's a tricky balancing act. Not many games do that well. I think BioWare has an opportunity here to do that. It just EA needs realistic expectations in time, because it's been clear. Yes, it's just that the timeline has changed so much for the development of games. I mean, it's still remarkable to me how quick of a turnaround they were able to get the whole Mass Effect trilogy, right? Mm-hmm. Maybe they're just thinking along those lines, because it's still crazy to me how quickly they were able to go from Mass Effect 1 to 3, you know?
Yeah.
Well,
but
Mass Effect 2 was like 2009, but that was like 3 years after Mass Effect 2. But Mass Effect 1 to 2, that was crazy.
yeah.
So I just hope they're not thinking along those lines anymore because, I mean, Mass Effect was a purely single-player game. There weren't as many things to maybe retool in that sense.
Yeah.
In terms of how the game functions. Of course, like, gameplay differences were there, but the core aspects of the games were still there and not really touched all that dramatically. So, you know, it's hard.
Yeah. We'll see. So we believe in you, BioWare. Just show us something, man.
I do.
Give us hope.
Like, I'm highly optimistic of the many faults that a lot of developers have had this generation. Of course they can bounce back. Of course if it's just one fault, the internet's going to think it's the end of the world. Now, before I used to have that mentality. But, because I'll be guilty of that, I had a mentality too, but everybody is allowed some missteps, and we gotta kind of realize it's not at really anyone's fault, even though we'll blame EA all day and Ubisoft and any other developers, Activision. But, you know, it can also be on the developer too, or, you know, also unrealistic expectations. So, you know, they can bounce back. Just got to give them time. I don't know when we're going to see Anthem. Like, again, I'll also be surprised if we see that within this decade. That I wouldn't mind if it doesn't come out maybe 2020, you know? So, I mean, will we see more stuff of it at E3? Maybe. I don't know.
I mean, if it gets... Could it be June 2018? I mean, if they really are going for that March 2019, I mean, wouldn't this be the last E3?
I guess, yeah, right? So, and this has been mainly an Xbox game, at least advertised right now.
Well, yeah,
but it's going to be also on PlayStation.
Yeah,
so.
It's going to be on PlayStation, of course. It's just being promoted on Xbox.
Yeah, it's just like, you know, which one is being favored. Yeah, it's, oddly enough, it's on Xbox. It's interesting. BioWare's always got that relationship with Xbox, you know?
Yeah, I mean, that's why the Knights of the Old Republic games are only on Xbox.
Yeah. But then, like, Battlefield gets promoted on PlayStation? No, it doesn't. It gets promoted on Xbox more, Battlefield, doesn't it?
I think it alternates. I think some... Like,
yeah,
I think like, Hardline was promoted on PlayStation, but then Battlefield 1 was promoted on Xbox.
So PlayStation got the shorter end of the Battlefield stick. Granted, it sold quite a bit, but still, you know, it was.
It's kind of like Assassin's Creed, where like, Unity got promoted on PlayStation, I think, but then like Origins got promoted on Xbox, or no, Syndicate got promoted on PlayStation.
Yeah, Syndicate was PlayStation as well, but then Xbox got Origins because of Xbox One X. Because you know, it was the once they hooked them with the Xbox One X, I think that was the key thing right there. Like all these third-party games, except. With the exception of Call of Duty, really, right? Because Call of Duty is strongly with PlayStation now.
Yeah.
So, it's so weird, dude. Yeah. And then, really, the partnership I'm interested to see in later on is see where Rockstar goes. But, I don't know. I mean, even though they're still favoring PlayStation at this moment, right? Because they still claim that there's still going to be exclusive content for Red Dead 2 on PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
And... I don't think those trailers were running on PlayStation specifically. Don't remember, so I don't want to spout that out. But yeah, I would. And then I think Rockstar's going to heavily promote Red Dead 2 on PS4, which is nice. It's a big win for them to have that.
Get your Westworld exclusive DLC on your PS4, man.
How about if we pre-order Red Dead 2, you give us a 4K code of the first season of Westworld?
That's a big bonus. That's like what?
Then again,
it's like a $40-$50 value.
Well, it's a big bonus for PlayStation. The PlayStation Store to have 4K content at all. The video front, I mean, video front. The games front they have, but the videos no. Somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
No, it's weird, but a lot of things are weird.
It
But
is.
anyway, we are almost at the 1 hour 10-minute mark, and
Already?
already, I don't know. You didn't have any more viewer questions? This is all we have was the 2.
That was it for the
That
week.
was it. Well, thank you for those viewer questions. For those who submitted, you can always submit more viewer questions to us. Many different ways. You can message us directly on PSN at Body Boys or Double Is. That's kind of the preferred way for us to see your messages. But we do have other ways. We, of course, have the Twitter at PlayStation BS. We even have a Facebook page, PlayStation BS Podcast, something like that. PSBS. I actually forget what the exact thing is for our Facebook page.
Oh my gosh.
What the acronym is. But yeah, didn't we get a Twitch message one time? I think we did.
We did get a message on Twitch.
Yeah, because our Twitch channel
Oddly
is just PSBS. We have a Twitch channel. We have a Mixer channel technically now.
Huh. That is interesting.
I set up a Mixer thing, and it's just PSBS podcasts. You just watch me play PUBG and get so close and losing.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, you guys check that out if you want, But yeah, but I think that will be it. So with that, this has been the PSBS PlayStation Podcast, episode 98. I'm your host, Coach TPS and Body Boys. My coach here is
Andrew Arenas, Double Is. Everybody have a fantastic week. Work hard, play hard, and just do your very best at anything that you're doing.
Yeah.
We're giving encouragement out here.
Yeah.
I feel like this is a very encouraging and optimistic episode.
Yeah,
I feel like a lot of people around me lately have been very down for some reason. I don't know why. Maybe people aren't hitting their New Year's resolutions because it's already almost the end of January. But pull through. There are 11 more months in this year.
Yeah.
So, because things are going to change. I'm working. You're working. It's going to be crazy. But we are still going to deliver on those episodes. Still.
Yep. So, yeah. So with that, thank you for listening, and hopefully we'll see you guys next week. Click.